Hi! So today we're gonna do a full face of Cover FX. Cover FX just sent me some products and I am so excited to try them all out and use them. There's a few things that I have, like that I already own, that I purchased before. Cover FX is a brand I've loved for years. I think since I was like a senior in high school, or maybe like fresh out of high school, I used to buy a lot of their stuff and use it like all the time. And I've gone through a bunch of their stuff and I'm just so grateful that Cover FX sent me some stuff. So thank you, Cover FX. We're gonna get started. I think I have everything for a full face besides lips, mascara, and eyeliner, and brows. But everything else is gonna be a full face. I don't have like an eyeshadow palette either, but I do have like their single liquid shadows, and then I'm gonna use bronzer and blush in my crease. Anyways, let's get started. So they sent me their Water Cloud Primer, the Pollution and Blue Light Defense. These are always 50% off during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty. Looks like a little slug. It's like thick, looks a little chunky. Let's see. Feels pretty nice though. Okay, it kind of just feels like a little tacky. It feels cooling when you put it on, like water, but it's like a little bit thicker. Nice. I guess I'll have to see like how foundation and everything wears on top of it, but it feels pretty good. The first time I like put it on the back of my hand when I first got it, it was pilling, so I hope it doesn't happen today, but I don't think it's going to so far. It's sinking in. I can feel it sinking in. So I'm just gonna wait a little bit. They sent the Luminous Tinted Moisturizer in the lightest shade, and then they sent the Power Play Foundation, which I've never tried, in the shade N20, which I think is gonna be too dark, but I don't know. I kind of just want to try this today. Maybe we'll do this in another video, so I'm gonna leave that out, but I'm gonna use the Luminous Tinted Moisturizer. And then they also sent this brush. So this is, oh, it doesn't have the name on it. Oh wait, yeah, it does. Custom application brush. It's basically just like a angled kabuki brush, and then it has these three, you can't tell, but it has like these three little cores in it, like hard, flimsy jelly cores. I don't know how to describe it, but I think what you do is like you put the product on each one. I'm like kind of scared to use this, especially with a product I've never used before, you know? So I'm just gonna apply this with my fingers, which is how I've been liking applying tinted moisturizer. And this seems really, really sheer. It only has 4 shades, which I was kind of like, what the hell? I feel like it evened out my skin tone pretty well. I didn't put any on my forehead, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, so here's what my skin looks like. I feel like it evened out my skin tone really well. So we're gonna go in and add a little bit more coverage with the Power Play Concealer. They sent me the shade N Light 1. I should have told them what shades I would be, because I probably wouldn't have chosen these shades, but I'm gonna make it work. I'm using this e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge. Okay, I feel like it's a decent coverage. I think I need to apply some more, so, oh, that's probably a lot. The applicator, it's a little weird. It's like a ball. Also, I don't think that is gonna get covered up, so just ignore it. It popped up last night after I took my makeup off, so okay, pretty impressed actually, especially under my eyes. I feel like they look really smooth. It's not creasing terribly or anything. I definitely built the coverage up. It doesn't look cakey. I don't want to do it a third time because I'm afraid it will get cakey. Like you can definitely still see a little bit of darkness, but my under eyes are just dark and I'm used to it, so I don't really mind. Okay, this is the setting powder. I have previously owned this and loved it. Used up the whole thing when I did have it. Let's open it. All right, just gonna use my sponge and pop some under my eyes. And probably all around here. So what I remember loving about that powder when I used to own it all those years ago was that it wasn't drying too much, and it just like really smooths out your skin, and it doesn't look heavy or powdery really at all. Like, I think they just look perfectly smoothed out. Okay, something else I'm really excited to try are the bronzer drops. I used to own these, like the original packaging. They've since redone the packaging for these, which I think it looks really cute. And I really liked them, but at the time I didn't know really how to use creams and liquids. Okay, I just did my brows really quick. Now we're gonna use the bronzer drops. So, what shade is this? Sunkissed, I think. Let me see. Yes, the shade is Sunkissed. I always remember this being like the perfect bronzer shade. I'm just gonna, it comes in a dropper, which is kind of like, oh, wish it came in like a pump. I'm just gonna do 2 drops. Whoops, because I remember this being extremely pigmented. I'm taking it on this Luxie Precision Foundation brush. Look how fucking pigmented it is. Buffing my brush off. I'm just gonna lightly apply. I am scared kind of like a liquid bronzer because it's not something I typically use. I think I chose a pretty good brush for this too. I've never really used this brush at all. Got it in BoxyCharm and I just never used it, but I was like, you know, I think this would be a good brush for foundation or even like creams. So I grabbed it. Okay, here's the bronzer. Really like how it looks. I like how it dries down, but it's not like super matte, but it just looks really like natural, like a natural finish. Okay, for highlight, we're gonna do the Custom Enhancer drops in the shade Moonlight. Oh, something I forgot to mention about the bronzer quickly is I do have it in the powder version. This is one that I bought myself at Ulta during the 21 days when it was half off. I really like this bronzer. It is darker on me because I'm so fair, so I only really use it, like I have to use it very light-handedly. Light-handedly, is that a word? I don't know. I have to use a light hand with this because if I don't, it looks very unnatural, but it's a really nice warm bronzer without being orange. So same with the highlighter, the Custom Enhancer drops in Moonlight. This is the powder highlighter. I don't know if they make this anymore. I've had this since high school and it is like one of my holy grail highlighters. This and like the Anastasia Glow Kit are my ride or dies. It's so beautiful. The trick to this, it doesn't look like much, right? But the more you buff it, do you see how like the more I buff it, the shinier it gets? It's amazing. So if these are still available, highly recommend checking them out because it's so bomb. I think they have 3 shades in that, but we're gonna use this today. And I have owned this in the past as well, and I used to use it all the time. It's very intense. I'm just gonna do 1 drop and we're gonna see. Taking this e.l.f. small stipple brush. This is one of my favorites. Again, tap, 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 tap in. I'm just gonna... Okay, quickly for blush. I don't think they have like a cream blush or anything, so I'm using their powder blush. This is also something I bought myself, and this is the Blush Duo in Soft Peach. I am going to just mix them. Super pigmented. You need to tap your brush off. This is an e.l.f. highlighting brush. And I'm just gonna lightly place some blush all over my cheeks. I am a cream blush person, but I will say the formula of these blushes is a great, like, they're hyped up for a reason, so recommend getting them during the 21 days sale if you can, because they're really good if you like powder blush. So for eyeshadow, I don't think they have any eyeshadows, like a palette, so I'm going to use my bronzer Duo, and then I'm going to use the shimmer veils. These were sent to me, the bronzer I bought, yada yada. Okay, I think I want to use this shade, which is Moonstone, and then they also sent this lighter shade, which is Celestial. Maybe I'll use that as like my inner corner. Okay, another e.l.f. brush, the Fluffy Eye Blender. Really like this for the crease. Just taking the matte shade, very pigmented. Remember to tap your brush off, and I'm just gonna work it in my crease really lightly. Doing the same on the lower lash line with a Morphe M507, just really lightly. Okay, you know what I think I want to do is add some blush too to my crease. So same big fluffy brush. I'm just gonna, oh, I haven't even taken the stickers off of these. Let me do that. Much better. Okay, now for these little shimmer veils. I used to have one of these in the shade Amethyst that I got from BoxyCharm, and it was really pretty. I had it for years, and I finally just got rid of it recently. But I remember wearing it, and it completely ending up flaking off in patches, and just being very patchy, hard to layer, and just like sheer in some spots. It was odd, and it wore off really easily. So hopefully that was just from it being old, because the shade, oh my god, is so freaking pretty. This is the shade Moonstone. It's like a silvery bronze. My eyes are very hooded, and then like in my crease, I don't know if you could tell from my Pat McGrath video, but like I was looking at my blend and I was like, oh. The deeper into my eye, it's like pigment doesn't stick very well right there. So it's just always been like that. I don't have blending skills really. Okay, that is beautiful. I love it. I'm gonna take some too on my lower lash line, because I've just been loving like shimmer on the lower lash line. I think shimmer on your lower lash line just makes your eyes pop more. And I love to play at my eyes, but in like very simple ways. Okay, we're gonna take Celestial now, and I think I'm just gonna do my inner corner. When I swatched this one was pretty patchy, the other one wasn't. Ooh, beautiful. Guys, so I'm done with my makeup. This is what everything is looking like. I really love pretty much how everything turned out. Let's run through the products real quick. So for the primer, I like it. I mean, it's a primer. I'm not a primer person, can't really say, but I think it was nice. I have nothing negative to say about it, but I just feel like I need to test it more before I can say like good things. Maybe test it with some of my foundations and stuff that I know how they work, because I did use a new foundation alongside a new primer. So next, the tinted moisturizer. I really like this. This had kind of bad reviews, like on Ulta and everything, but I really like it. I think it's really nice. It reminds me of the ColourPop one, which, if you know, that's like my favorite tinted moisturizer, but I'm pretty sure it's been breaking me out. But anyways, yeah, this reminds me a little bit like it, like the color and everything. I think it worked really nice. It's very sheer, but surprisingly, it like evened out my skin tone really well. Besides this little guy, big guy, whatever you want to call him, I think my skin looks really good for just having tinted moisturizer on. And then of course I did go in with concealer, and I used the Power Play concealer. I think I could have gone with a lighter shade, but I actually like this shade under my eyes because it's not very brightening, and when I use a brightening concealer it really emphasizes the darkness under there, so I don't prefer to like do a highlighting concealer. Plus it's really hard for me to find something that's going to highlight my pale ass face. The one thing I did notice about this is like when I put it on top of my blemish, it didn't really cover it, which it's literally purple, like I'm not expecting it to cover it, but I thought it would cover it more than it did. But then again, like it did give me really solid coverage under my eyes, so I think this is just a little beast. But when I did put it over there, I feel like it oxidized and it looked odd. The Perfect setting powder, I already know I love this, and I have been reminded of how good it really is and just how lightweight and like finely milled it is without being drying. It's very blurring and smoothing, so I really like this. I love how it doesn't look like powder. The powder duos, I've got the blush and the bronzer, Soft Peach in the blush and Sunkissed Bronze in the bronzer. These are the ones I bought myself and I've had for a while now, but I do really like them. I don't typically reach for powders, I'm just gonna say it. I usually use creams and then I'll use a powder bronzer, but when I do use a powder bronzer, it's definitely not this one because this is just like very tan and I need like to wear this on like specific occasions. But I think that the formula of these is phenomenal. So now for the stuff I actually did use on my face, the bronzer drops. I really like these. I think it looks extremely natural and really, really good. I feel like I look really naturally bronzed. It's not too dark. It's not, you know, too much for me. So I really like it. I think I worked with it really well and I am excited to keep using it. I can definitely see myself using this a lot. The Custom Enhancer drops in Moonlight, I already know I love these too. Super pretty. I feel like you can definitely build the intensity up or play it down. I like a beaming high shine, but I don't like it to be too beaming. I don't know. I just have a really weird preference, but I think it looks really natural and wet looking and the shade is perfect and beautiful. Okay, and then last I think we just need to cover the eyeshadows. I really like them so far. I don't think I mentioned this, but I didn't use a primer on my eyes, which I don't often do. I feel like I can see a little bit of patchiness, so I'm kind of afraid about that, but I'm gonna keep testing them, use them with a primer, NYX glitter glue, all that stuff, and just see how that works and then try layering them more, because I kind of noticed like I swiped it on closer to my lower lash line and then, you know, as the product left the doe foot and I got, you know, swiping it up higher, I noticed that it just became a little bit more sparkly and sheer and not as like, there wasn't much of a base pigment. Oh my god, am I even making sense? I hope you understand what I'm saying. And then when I blended it out, it kind of like sheared out and I only blended it out up there. So I feel like maybe I need to apply a little bit more. All right, anyways, that was it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of Cover FX and what products I need to try from them next. We'll do another Get Ready With Me later on and I'll use this foundation for sure and I will let you know my thoughts. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.